Now, as part of starting my own clothing brand, I really want to understand how garments are made. And so by learning basic sewing skills, I think it will help me to correct, fix, and get ideas for future garments. Now, is learning to sew necessary to start a clothing brand? Absolutely not. But I want to be as much part of this process as possible. But there's one single problem, or two. The first one is I don't know how to sew. And this becomes a major problem because if you don't know how to sew, you can't make clothes, right? Simple as. I've never even sewed in my life, not even in primary school, not in high school. And the second thing is I don't know how to set up the sewing machine or even know how to use it. So therefore, I'm going to learn everything via YouTube. I know, it's crazy what you can learn on YouTube nowadays. Now, I've got the Brother Sewing Machine BS2450 and a few sewing kits from my mother, so she kind of passed it down to me to use it for myself. And this is what we're working with at the moment. Okay, so for reference, we're going to be sewing this jumper. Hold on, one more in frame. Okay, so for context, we're going to be sewing this jumper into something more boxy. So when I wear this jumper, it seems to be too long, right? And I'm 6'4". Now this is from New Look, it's extra large. So obviously the length is a bit too long. So I'm gonna shorten it down so it's a bit more of a boxier look. I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so as you can see, this is currently sitting below my waist. I want it to be above my waistline. So that's like a whole, we're talking that much. And this is probably like, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 inches. Fucking I don't know. So yeah, but essentially we're gonna be taking away the elastic band. We're gonna be taking this off, reducing the size, and then sewing everything back on. If that makes any sense. So this is gonna go completely wrong, I have a feeling, but we're gonna do it anyway. And you know, if I fuck up this jumper, I'm never gonna wear it again anyway. Bought it like 3 years ago. So I've got nothing to lose in this case. All right, let's do it. Okay, step one, let's set up the sewing machine. Cool.
Setting up your sewing machine correctly is the first step to great sewing.
Okay, so I've got the Brother BS2450, which means I'm gonna watch a tutorial specifically for this machine because the machine they're showing right now is completely different. No fucking clue what they're saying. All right, so back to square zero. BS2450 Brother sewing machine.
Turn the main power switch on. The sewing lamp comes on when the machine is...
Holy shit. Okay, step one, we're learning to do this. Pull this shit out, cool. That's done.
full of thread for the bobbins on.
Take it out, put it up here. Yep, that's done. Thread, guide, groove. Yeah.
From the front to the back, around the pre-tension discs completely.
Okay, so everything should be set up now. We're on the roll, all right? So, let me just show you a little video real quickly. As you can see, the bobby pin goes in there, which I took out. The thread goes around, comes around, bobby pin there, connected to the little thing down there, and then obviously to the socket. Right, so following this video, if everything is correct, it should turn. So let's try it. Voila! How much am I supposed to do it? I have no clue. We're gonna keep going, we're gonna keep going. Next up, we cut this off, put it back in the machine, and we're good to go.
Trim the excess thread up.
Okay, so here's my jumper. We're gonna measure it. So, I've got a fresh band of whatever these are, measuring tape, God knows. So, first thing we need to do is measure from top to bottom. So, as you can see, measure from up here, which is 1 all the way down, that is 26 and a half. I think we're measuring at 26 and a half at the moment. Now I want to get a jumper which normally fits me perfectly. So this is a jumper that was given to me. It's from All Saints, and this is a boxy fit. As you can see, it's really nice. Freaking love this jumper. This is an actual boxy fit. So if I just measure it from top to bottom as well, this measures in at Wait a minute, how the fuck is that possible? 27. Why is it measuring at 27? Okay, so this measures in at 27. What? That doesn't make any sense. How is that going to measure it in at 27? And this fits me better. What? Anywho, I'm going to take it down a whole 2 inches. That's the whole point. I'm going to take down 2 whole inches. So hopefully this will fit me better. Okay, so on to step 3, which means we need to cut the hoodie. Now, I'm telling you right now, I went through so many problems cutting the hoodie. I even cut myself, which you might see in the next clip. There you go, look, blood. That's how you know I went through war just to sew this bitch on. Okay, so basically when I started out, I used a tiny stitch cutters, and then at the end I was like, fuck it. So I just got the cloth cutter and just literally snipped the whole thing off, which took me 2 seconds. Right, it was way better doing that. So once that was done, you can see took the what do you call it, the pocket off and the I don't know what you call it, but the bottom bit off. Then I had to cut out 3 inches. So I think cut from 24 to 21, which is a substantial difference. Because remember, we're going to add back on the elastic band at the bottom. So it's going to add another inch or 2. So cut that off. And then you can see at the very end, there you go. It's much shorter, way shorter. So that extra cloth we can throw away. This took me at least 3 to 4 hours. Like, I'm a fucking noob at this, okay? And then I had to put the pins in so it's ready for sewing. And this pin process took me another 2 hours. Okay, so now it's time to sew. And remember how we set up the machine before? Now is the time to use that bitch. Okay, so initially we had some big problems with the sewing machine because it was so old. We thought something was broken on the inside. Turns out there was no problem with the sewing machine. Just me and my dumb ass couldn't figure out how to put the thread through the needle at the bottom, and I didn't align it properly. Right, so you can see we were really struggling here. I had to get my mum involved because apparently I can't do a simple job properly. But in no time we got back to action and I was back to sewing. Now throughout the whole process I had a YouTube video next to me the whole time. I'm doing this whole process off YouTube, okay? This just goes to show that anyone can do anything, even if it's to learn how to sew within 1 day. You can learn to sew within 24 hours, it's crazy. And so yeah, this is quite a satisfying process. This is probably the easiest process and the most fun is the sewing bit, because the machine, when you press the lever at the very bottom and it works, it just sounds like a Kalashnikov, a machine gun. I'm from Pakistan, so we use those AKs, right? So basically, it's such a nice feeling. It feels like a machine gun when you're pressing it down, and it goes really fast. So you've got to be careful not to put your finger through the needle. So you've got to be very careful and gentle in this process. Not only that, you also need to be careful that your stitching is straight and aligned. So throughout the whole time, my stitching was like an S, right? I couldn't get it straight. So yeah, I'm going to work on that on the next time. But make sure the stitching is straight. Which leads us to the final result. Look at that. Look at this boxy fit. I'll do a little before, do a little after. Now, you can see I didn't stitch it properly on the left-hand side. Don't worry about that. But the arm sleeve is perfect. So I didn't change anything from there because I've got long arms. But the boxiness, I had to reduce it by 3 to 4 inches. You can see it looks so much better. You can see my arse from behind before it was being covered. There you go. I'm very happy with the process. I didn't do the pockets properly as well. So